What do you know? We broke below the center line today, guys. It's fine to break below, but if it means the end of the game, stay below 52,000. Just pay close attention to this, but we might be able to see it earlier in the week, right? I mean, look at how the price moved yesterday. BTC was down a lot yesterday, while the SP was up 0.7%. That's not good at all for an asset that does so well following the stock market. It does get bigger again. How likely it is that we'll go down to gold support number 1 or even technical support number 2. Bitcoin bubble stands out because it is clear and easy to understand. There's no limit to who can join, no matter how much they know about crypto or how new they are to it. Guess who is watching us now? Robert Kiyosaki is the author of the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad. We also want to thank everyone who put their trust in us. We read all of your comments and the best ones. It's not expensive. If you sign up now, you'll get all the new information for free. Stay ahead of the trends instead of just following them. Sign up for Bitcoin Bubble right now and enjoy the new edge. Let's talk about these things and more in this film. The SP 500 that day. People, we can see it here. As the day came to a close, prices started to rise again from their lows. You should have seen how dull it was. When the CPI numbers came out, we opened down, but then we went up. We briefly turned green. This is where we closed yesterday. After that, we sold off again, this time to the lows. Then there was a little bit of a bounce toward the end of the day. There are about 2 minutes left in the stock market session today. Thursday. Okay, again, not a very exciting day, nothing to write home about. The story that it's a one-time number for each of those points on the economic side is what the markets believe. There is no reason to be worried. That's exactly what the markets are showing us right now. Let's look at the daily chart now. I want to show you a pattern formation that tells me there might be some trouble coming up soon. Take the low from August 5th and connect it to the low here on September 10th. This will bring it right up under the most recent lows. Look at this exact low, this low here, pierced here, touches right here. Keep an eye on this important trend line. Also take this high and stretch it all the way through these highs. This shape is known as a wedge plan. Now wedge patterns that are straight up and down, like this one, have a very steep angle to the top. These are likely to break down about 70% of the time. Okay, so once more it favors a breakdown over a breakout. I'm not giving up on the idea that the SP could still hit $6,000 or even $6,100 like I said yesterday. But if we break this line, we will likely try it again here in the near future. Now this is where you draw the line for positive bearish. If we stay here, even if we break this line, it will only mean that we'll go down on the charts. Besides that, it doesn't really mean much else. There will be trouble if we break and confirm below this line. But once more, think about what could happen if you have a little breakdown here, right? In a way, we could still see 6,000 because you could do something like this. Just making my trend lines a little longer, but we could see that, okay, we break down here, we go here. That's not all. You could go up and back to these lines, which would be resistance, and make a new all-time high. This is the line in the sand. As long as this line stays in place, there is an interesting short-term wedge shape here that points to a possible dip. But you should keep a neutral to bullish attitude as long as this one holds at around 565 on the SPY. Okay? Okay, I just wanted to go over that with you guys because I think there is a difference that you should be aware of. Once more, it will help us keep an eye on things. Those of you who watch from home, who play video games, only care about this line for the confident bearish. We might test that line in the sand, though. If we break here in the short run, Bitcoin could have a capitulation event if prices drop below $50,000 before a bullish rise because of less liquidity. Cole Garner, an analyst, says that on-chain liquidity is going down, which could cause Bitcoin to give up before a big bull run. Central banks' liquidity trends, like the Fed's and China's policies, could affect what Bitcoin does next. For example, China recently let traders down by stopping economic stimulus. As the number of stablecoins like USDT and USTC decreases, the chance of a price drop rises. Prices could even fall below $50,000. Even though there are risks, Bitcoin's general market structure is still bullish, with higher highs in place even at possible range lows. Some traders are still hoping for a rise in late October. If key support levels hold, BTC could still reach its long-term goal of $135,000. The next move for Bitcoin could be to give up and fall below $50,000, but the long-term picture is still good. People, gold and silver had a good day today. Again, it's been a good day for gold and silver, which are getting stronger. Take a look at this if you've taken the winning trader class. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a timer. Lets you know that a bounce is likely. Today we're getting that bounce. That was something I talked about yesterday as an option. If we switch to silver, and by the way, gold is still going to fall overall, but it's not surprising that there will be a day of rest. The same thing with silver. If you look at silver, it was trade last Friday or about a week ago at $33. It has since dropped to $30, which is a 10% drop. It has now gone back down to $31.15. Plain and simple. Based on more research, I still believe it will return to this area. Okay, oil today, oil has taken a big jump. As before, there was some bad selling over the last 2 days. The low point yesterday was down here. A good bounce back here. To be honest, I still think that oil going down is better for the long term. But if it goes up, I'll just use this level as a stop loss line. This is the big trend line right here at $80 per barrel. Also, I still think that the total price I want to see in 2025 will be $50 or less. Let's see if I'm right. It's almost the end of the year. So sometime next year in 2025, I still think sub or 50 to sub $50. Now, I did close my short positions on natural gas early this morning before the market opened. People, this was a beautiful thing. Look at that. It's fun for me to show that greed isn't always a good thing. If you're greedy, you're still looking for more bad news here. Still, we took our profits right here before the market opened and said, enough is enough. After getting 15% yesterday, I think we put away 19% on the second half of gold. Then Anj and my commodity friends and I took about 8.5% today on that early. We gave up, or we would have given up a good chunk of that. It wasn't a big amount, but it had to bounce off those levels. So all you have to do is find the right balance between greed and gold prices, as well as between risk and reward. And when you're down, like we were on natural gas for 5 days in a row, you have to think, okay, well, odds are starting to change. Yes, I might be able to get a little more juice from that orange, lemon, or whatever you want to call it. But there isn't much to squeeze here. It was sold off too soon for the short run. Let it bounce and I can always short it again. That's what makes it so lovely. Or if it doesn't give me another chance, I can always make another deal. There's always another deal we can make. As part of a recent podcast show, Joe Rogan expressed doubt about Bitcoin stability and the speculative nature of digital assets, urging investors to be careful. He also said he was worried about NFTs and the risks that could come from central bank digital currencies or CBTS. Rogan said it over and over, trading in Bitcoin